Greetings, ladies and gentlemen, and welcome to this narration of the web story, Why Humans Avoid War. Take it from Reddit. If you're new to the series, there is a playlist listed in the description. And as always, I hope that you enjoy. By MPOV. So why exactly was the refugee camp set up in a military base? I asked. Cole's face revealed nothing as he glanced up from his cards. Not everyone believes your little story, Byam. They want to keep an eye on you, make sure that you're not a threat, wouldn't want you to try anything back on Earth. After the rescue mission on our home world, the humans moved us to a military outpost on a terraformed colony. From what I understood, its chief function was as a listening station, though it also could serve as a launch point for a preemptive strike if needed. They cropped up the tent city on the premises with relative ease, and had ample food reserves to accommodate us, at least for a few weeks. Cole had requested a transfer to the refugee camp while he recovered from his injuries, which I was grateful for. I could tell a lot of the Terran soldiers didn't like us from their strained body language and curt replies. The three other humans at the table hadn't so much as looked at me throughout the game. I had only been taught this poker game yesterday, but the rules were simple enough. Trying to read the humans for signs of deception was another story. Honestly, this game seemed designed for sociopaths. Did their species derive pleasure from lying? With a frustrated sigh, I folded my hand. Obviously, you humans are much better at lying than me. Cole smirked, raking in my chips. You can't just let us bully you. Sometimes, you have to call. Can I look at your cards? Go for it, I grumbled. Why did you fold? The look he gave me seemed almost angry, and I shrunk down in my seat. You have pocket aces. You know that's good, right? Yes, but I don't know what you had. It doesn't matter. That's literally the best starting hand. What did you have? Cole flipped over his cards, revealing a 2 and a 7. I heard a few curses coming from the man next to me, and I was half tempted to drop some colorful language as well. Why would he make a large bet with such a weak hand? It defied all logic. Maybe I'm not just wired for this, I said. Hey, don't give up now. How about instead of worrying about lying, you look at it as a math game? Try to figure out the odds that someone has. A wailing alarm drowned out the end of Cole's explanation, startling me half to death. With its shrill pitch, it was unmissable. I covered my eyes, but it did little to muffle the sound. Fear began to creep up on me. Nothing that loud could mean anything good. I glanced at the humans, hoping for reassurance. They looked puzzled, yet I got a distinct impression that they were waiting for orders. Incoming orbital raid, a low mechanical voice confirmed my concerns. All soldiers to your stations. This is not a drill. All games and the leisure were forgotten in an instant. The automated message hadn't even finished before my friend was tugging me by the arm, leading the way out of the lounge. I followed him in a daze. Our peaceful stay at the camp had lulled me into a false sense of security. Who would be foolish enough to attack the invincible Terran military, after all? I was tempted to ask, but Cole seemed just as surprised as me. We exited the building with haste, and I took a peek at the pandemonium around us. Terran soldiers were nearly tripping over themselves, racing to their destinations, while the medical personnel were shuffling refugees off to the bunker. A squadron of fighter jets was already lined up on the tarmac, preparing to take to the skies. The response to the attack was almost immediate. The humans could intercept the enemy before they ever reached the planet. I slowed my pace, trying to catch my breath. Where are we going? I'm taking you to the bomb shelter with the others, Cole replied. I frowned. What about you? Well, they'll want me there too, because I'm not clear to fly yet. He tightened his grip on my wrist, wordlessly telling me to keep up with him. But I'm getting on a ship, one way or another. I'm coming with you. Something about leaving Cole to fend for himself didn't sit well with me, despite the protest of my self-preservation instincts. Maybe I was just trying to convince myself that I wasn't a coward anymore. You need a gunner. I'm your guy.
I don't know. But you sound sure. All right, let's get a move on it.
He veered towards the nearest hangar, strides brisk and confident.
If anyone stops us, let me do the talking.
A few shocked looks were thrown in my direction as we entered the hangar, which I ignored. The structure was packed full of spacecraft, which all looked like pristine and well-maintained. Most of them had slim, angular designs, indicating that they were built for speed. A few larger craft were present, which were likely the heavy hitters. There was nothing of the flagship caliber in stock, but it was still a sizable armada. Cole steered us towards the skirmisher. He helped me into the back seat before climbing behind the steering column. It was a much cozier fit than the craft we flew before. As I fastened my safety harness, I heard the human switch on the comms relay, and a transmission crackled over the speakers.
"Pick up, damn it! What in God's name are you doing?"
an angry male voice asked.
Cole cleared his throat. "We're gonna kill some alien bastards, sir."
"You're not going with that thing in tow," came the reply. My friend's expression darkened.
"That thing has a name. Bayham flew honorably under Commander Rykov.
Rykov is a bleeding heart, and everyone treats that guy like a damn folk hero."
"He is a hero, and more importantly, he's a good man. But that's beyond the point, sir. I trust Bayham with my life. What does the extra set of hands hurt?"
"We have plenty of folks raring to go as is. The first squadron is confronting the enemy now. This will be over soon anyways." A female voice buzzed into our channel, which I assumed was the emergency frequency. "Sir, we've lost contact with our fighters."
"What?"
There was a pause, and then a measured response.
"How many of them?"
"All of them," she replied. The man was stunned into silence, which stretched on for several seconds.
"Blondie, you still there?"
Cole frowned, but didn't correct his name. "Still here, sir."
"You're cleared for takeoff. Get that bird off the ground before I change my mind."
"Yes, sir." I shifted in my seat as our craft rolled out of the hangar, falling into the tail end of the queue. If none of the ships sent out with the first wave returned, what did that mean for us? Were they dead? Would we be dead soon? I didn't think there was any army in the galaxy cluster that could trade blows with the humans, let alone annihilate the entire squadron. The thought crossed my mind that it was the AI. Perhaps it had learned from its defeats, and after sufficient study, it was able to replicate or negate Terran technology. That would also explain why a little-known outpost in the Fringe system had been attacked. It was here to prove that no escape was possible, or in its words, to reclaim its resources. I tried to shake the idea, but the more I considered it, the more I was certain it was true. My nerves were replaced by cold resolve. After tasting freedom, if only for a few days, I couldn't go back to life in chains. Death would be preferable. End of chapter. The algorithm reckons you should be watching this video next, and I recommend that you should be always watching my video. So, click.
With energy!
And yes, clicking that. I just want to give a quick thanks to the Tier 5 patrons and channel members. Ithilia, Barky, Fudic Yol, Cam Maxwell, Casper Arnholtz, White Van 420, Lord Azrekahl, Arcadian, and Oakfield.